Hi, welcome to Kitty Witty Papercraft. In this video, I wanted to give a little bit of an update to one of my products and also just a general shop update. I will start with updating you about this one product in case you just want to see the flip through of this. I'll start with that and then I'll talk a little bit about my Etsy shop coming up in the next month or so, what you can expect. So I was making little traveler's notebook, pocket-sized traveler's notebooks out of these Junior Elf books. I started those a while back, and I've decided that, so let me back up a second. So those were little pocket-sized traveler's notebooks, and they were pretty time-intensive, labor-intensive to make. I would reinforce the spine, and I added fabric ties to the inside so they would hold traveler's sized, pocket-sized traveler's notebook inserts in them. But I think people really like all of the ephemera and the pages in journals, and I wanted to kind of go back to doing that. So for these little Junior Elf books, which I knew I wanted to use, I have a lot of them and I love them. The covers are some of my favorites. So I wanted to still incorporate these into making into junk journals. So I figured the best way for me to use these books and still provide lots of pages and ephemera was to make them into this little ring bound style. So that is what is coming up in my shop really soon. So I wanted to just kind of walk you through the new look for these. And I will have these in my shop. I'm going to do an update next week, not this week. Next Friday, July 19th, I'm actually going to have a shop update. I usually do them on Sunday nights, but I can't do it next Sunday. So it's going to be on Friday night. That's going to be my next update, and I will tell you what you can expect to see in that update in just a moment. So anyway, so these little Junior Elf books are going to be just smaller junk journals, and they are ring bound, and they are going to all have this patterned fabric bow with a chevron ribbon bow on top of it and a little charm. So all of them will have one of these little candy charms. They look like little wrapped candies. That is not coming in focus. So yeah, so that's going to be on the outside of all of them. And I cut the covers and then I covered the edges, the rough edges, with fabric just to kind of finish them off a little bit. So the front and back covers have that little bit of fabric on them. And I left the holes plain. I was thinking about doing eyelets on the holes or maybe like little reinforcer stickers on them, but I actually thought that that drew more attention to the holes. So I like the look of just leaving them plain. So that is how I'm going to do these. And as far as the inside, these, even though they're small, they're about 4.5 by 6.5 inches tall. And even though they're small, these I packed with a lot of pages. There are 64 pages front and back in here and lots of vintage ephemera. So I'm just going to flip through and just kind of show you what you could expect in these. They will all have a little seed packet. I love these for little pockets that you can add your journaling, you know, like a little secret space inside, or store some of your ephemera. There's a vintage postcard. It'll have nice scrapbook paper inside for some good color and pattern. Ledger paper. This bingo card, I love these cardstock, like these really thick, actually they're almost like chipboard bingo cards. I don't have a ton of these. I might see if I can get more. I have mostly paper bingo cards, but they make really nice supports for pockets. And I have a chenille pocket here on the back of this bingo card, and then just some journaling ephemera in the pocket for you. And this is a die cut from Amy J. Delightful. So you can use that to decorate your pages in here. It's a glassine bag with a vintage playing card just clipped on. You can add this as a tuck spot somewhere in your journal if you'd like, but I just kind of left him separate. And then the bag just has a little printed button card and a die cut inside of it. These are really fun for journaling on. Oh, I'm going to fuss with that. So yeah, lots of ephemera. There's some pages from the original book inside of here, and because the vintage paper is really fragile, I reinforced the front and back with washi tape. I did not reinforce all of the pages in here. I think they're going to be okay. The one that I have that I use, it's been fine. As long as you don't pull on the pages, they're fine. But I will also just kind of listen for feedback. And if people say that, the pages tear or something too easily, I will address that for sure. So yeah, there's lots of vintage book pages and scrapbook papers. There's a couple different kinds of pockets. So this is an envelope here that has this cute little journaling card that's like a library card, and then a Rolodex card from supplies that I carry in my shop. It goes right in there. I love these little ring-bound journals. They're cute, and I don't know, it's just fun to kind of like punch all the pages and have them be different sizes. Another vintage playing card. Here's a library card pocket, and I just put in a little map scrap and some retail tags. Guest checks are great for journaling on. And this doily I left whole, and I love how this shape is really nice for adding like a photo to, or you can journal right on that space, but you have a nice like square space to add pictures or journaling. Flash card. Here's another little journaling card with a sweet image on it. Several pages of ledger paper. I left this hymnal page also whole, so you could actually seal the sides with adhesive and have, or just the bottom and this side, so you could have a top loading pocket or a side loading pocket if you didn't want to leave that as is. I love these little postcards. They have cute little images in the corner, so you have lots of space on the front, and there's lines on the back. Vintage milk cap. Index card. Same thing with this dictionary page. You can turn this into a pocket or just leave it as a couple extra pages. This is from directions from a sewing pattern, and I turned this one into a pocket already, and there is a large tag that you can use to journal on right inside there. I can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to watch through the camera. That's how I film. Okay. Flash card and a library card. This is a piece of a printed doily from Little Bindi Etsy shop. So a little chenille tab. So there's some different tabs in here too. Some are fabric, some are tickets. I added a little bit of pom-pom trim. So if you've been following me for a while, you know I always add pom-pom trim to my journals. And because this is a smaller size journal, I decided to add baby pom-pom trim to the size, just so the scale was a little bit more in line with the scale of this journal. And there's a time card and another page from this storybook. So yeah, like I said, 64 pages front and back, lots of ephemera in here for you. And I am working on a series of 4 of these right now, and they will be in my next shop update, which is going to be, like I said, Friday, July 19th. I will have a few of these, and I will also have 3 Kitty Dories, which are my sewing pattern envelope cover journals. I'm working on 3 of those that are sort of like a summertime theme, and I will probably have some inserts, like my basic inserts that I just started carrying, and some tassels. So I'm working on all of that. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen I'm working on a little golden book journal, like with a patriotic theme. And that one I think is going to be ready the end of July. That one is really involved and pretty big, and I'm going to give myself a little bit more time to work on that one. And I also have some chenille traveler's notebook covers coming. And I shared that on my Instagram a week or so ago. And so I'm making traveler's notebook covers that will hold my Kitty Dories or inserts, or any inserts, really, any traveler's notebook inserts, either standard wide or standard size. And those are going to be coming probably early August. and the covers are made from vintage chenille bedspread fabric. So I'm really excited about those. So there's some fun things coming up in the next month or so. And I know it might seem like I'm kind of all over the place. I have a lot of different projects going, a lot of different things in that I sell in my shop, but I really planned for this first year of being in business as kind of an experiment to kind of see what people like, what sells well. I opened my shop in October of last year, so I've been open about 9 months, and I probably will at some point decide to kind of scale down and focus on maybe just a couple of different products. But like I said, this is kind of an experiment to kind of see what people like. And so with that being said, I am very open to feedback from you all as far as what things you like to see the most from my shop. So if there's something that you would like me to double down on, more so than other things, let me know. I'm totally open to any feedback that you guys have. You can always leave me a message in the comment box below on any of my videos on YouTube. You can DM me on Instagram, or you can send me an email at kittywittypapercraft@gmail.com. And I may actually, now that I'm thinking about and talking about this, I may maybe do a survey that I'll send out at some point, or maybe do a poll or something on Instagram. But I really value your feedback and your input on this, so on my shop. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining me for this little update today. I hope you're doing well and you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.